Hey guys, it's Chris with Central Station Toys and CentralStationToys.com, and we are back for another Warhammer Wednesday and our continuing saga on getting the Recruit Edition up and running. So, yeah, this has kind of been a task, I will say. It's not for the timid. I will go with that. Actually, it's not that hard, but there are a lot of little pieces that you have to pay attention to when you're putting these pieces together. And if you have tips on how to deal with the Necrons, I would like to know them. I find them tad frustrating. They will not be my army of choice when I'm playing, just because I do not like putting them together. I know there's some of you out there that absolutely love the Necrons and love some of these other detailed pieces, but for me, they're not going to be my favorite. I'm going to go with more of the Space Marines, and I may look at some of the other factions that we have and kind of see what I want to do with it. But right now, we're dealing Space Marines because that's kind of where we're at right now. We're using the Warhammer 4000 Recruit Edition that we have available. Remember, there is an Elite and a Command Edition as well that have more pieces and more things to put together. But we're going to talk a little bit about where we're at so far. We utilize the Warhammer 4000 Paint and Tools Kit to get all of our paints. We have our clippers in there, and we did have to break out some glue that's not in here. Especially with the Necrons, I think I mentioned in prior videos that you have to be careful when you're clipping things out. You have to be careful when you're putting them together too. I was trying to put one of these together and kind of broke off a piece, and his arm wouldn't stay in very well. So we have a little bit of a fix in there with glue to make sure that he stays. My daughter is the one painting these, and she assures me that she'll hide that when the paint goes on. But she's doing great with it. The other thing that we broke into and decided to get is the painting handle. The painting handles are super cool and make it a lot easier to paint with. So when you're holding, if you didn't have the painting handle, you'd be holding it like this to paint. The painting handle gives you a great grip. You can angle it a lot easier and get to the details. You can see some of the pieces that she's already finished here and going. And this is her next work of art. The arms are currently beside, because she was letting them all dry and everything, and she'll be detailing the swords. I think her swords look really cool. She's putting to make them look a little bit more like how the box do with that glow to it. I'm impressed with them. So we're having lots of fun painting right now, and definitely recommend the painting handle. I know that once we get into the Necrons, they're gonna be fun to paint. I mean, they've got a different style to them. And I think with these, we probably wanna use some sort of base paint with them. Primer, it's kind of it's to give it a different color to it. We have black and Wraithbone in, and then we're going to spray paint these with the Wraithbone. We're trying to get in a couple of other colors, but the company's been out of them right now. So we're hoping to get others in before we get to them. If we can get in beforehand, we're going to get the Retribution armor and the basic gray, and I think the basic gray would be the best for them if we can do it, but if not, we're going to go with the Wraithbone. I mentioned that, these are not my favorite to put together, and I think it's more so because of my fingers. I've got big fingers, fat fingers, So I know we had some people in the other day that absolutely loved the Necrons and were able to really get, but they were more dainty. They had figures that can probably hold these a little bit better. So they're just a little bit harder to put together, a little bit more patience to them. They look incredible when you do it, but that's, again, if I'm gonna be building more sets, I'm gonna go more with the heavier human characters rather than the dead characters. We'll go with that. So, so make sure you have your clippers, make sure you have some glue. Even though these don't require glue, it's nice to have glue. The funny thing about this, so the Necrons actually come with two different guns, or weapons, I should say. They have this weapon and they have like a gun type weapon. And it says that you can, don't glue them if you're gonna change them out. And once I put them together the first time, I'm not switching those out. So they're staying that way. So they'll be glued because I'm not. It took a while to get those in. So yeah, so we're working through things, and again, the Recruit Edition comes with a small book that has, you know, they give you step by step on how to put together each of the characters, and it tells you if you're going to use the models in here, for your gameplay. They have certain criteria, and certain characters need certain weapons. The other thing they talk about is that you're going to need these data sheets to play. So this comes with the data sheets for both the Necrons, which is a two-sided one, and then you have the Space Marines, which is just it's two-sided as well, but it's pictures on the one side and then the characters on the other. So you can tell there's 3 different characters that come with the Necrons. There's only 2 different ones for the Space Marines, so therefore the data sheets are slightly different. The Space Marines individually are more powerful than the Necrons. That's why there'll be more Necrons. So if you're doing a Necron army, there's a lot more to put together. But I think they're kind of like a horde type race. So they're overpowering you with numbers rather than power. Where the Space Marines have the metal, or have the shields and the metal and guns and everything. So they're a little bit more powerful. But you'll need these for play as well. As I've gone through this, and you know, it's you can read through. They have a small introduction in this manual, and it's talking about the hobby. And there's people that do it for the hobby. There's people that do it for the games. And then the games, there's different levels. So I found it interesting. So this is the rulebook. The core book is what they call it, but they also say it's the rulebook. And you can see how thick that is. It looks pretty intimidating when you think, oh my gosh, there are so many rules to have. Well, let me show you something, because I marked it out. When you have the rule book, the first 3/4 of the book is fluff. It's it's pictures, it's stories, it's reading material. So if you want to just learn more about the hobby, the game, how it's created, what the different things are, it's all there. The rules themselves, the basic rules, are that much. There's really, it's about 15 pages, front and back, that are the basic rules. And then you start getting into some of the campaigns. And so this is the basic campaign that you're doing. And there's a few more pages to it, but there's still a lot of pictures in there. And then when you get to the back, this is when you get into more tournament play, more detailed, special, like this is 6 different games, depending on how you want to play. And they have different levels of, you know, how to deal with it with tournaments, how to deal with it when you have buildings, how to do small campaigns, big campaigns, everything. So ultimately, when you're looking at it, though, I mean, your rules really aren't that much. And once you read through this, you're really relying on your data sheets afterwards, so you know what your warriors do. Because the data sheets will tell you how powerful they are, how much hit points they have, how much power they have. So it's guiding you to make sure that you're getting to the right, you know, you're playing your game right. I've mentioned before, there is the hobby aspect of it. If you just want to paint and color and just collect, you can build up a huge army. You can do a basic army too. You can just do a small army and just get together with some friends and play some quick campaigns and just have some fun. You can continue to grow your army. Add in a couple of extra pieces. We have all kinds of extras here at the store that you can add up and build your army. And you can make a bigger army, and you and your friends can have that campaign that will take longer. And ultimately, you can build up, if you would like to do tournament mode. There's gaming groups, which we do want to start here at our store. So we'd love to have a gaming group going here. And then we want to have, then you can actually even go into tournaments and go do big tournaments. They have tournaments, or have had tournaments regularly in the past, and I think they will be having them soon as we open back up a little bit more. But there will be more tournaments. When you go to the Warhammer stores up in Grapevine, there's a huge tournament. We were up there and they talked about the last tournament that they did there. They actually had to rent out the convention center because they had so many people enter to do this. So I mean, it's not a small hobby. If you're really wanting to get into the gameplay aspect of it, you can do that. But if you want to just do the models of it, you can do that too. And we have a lot to choose from, a lot more that we can order. So it's up to you on what you want to do and how big you want to make this. But your initial investment would just be to get some starter sets, some paints, and start going and having some fun with it. And be creative. I mean, like I said, I love what my daughter's doing with these. I am not a painter. I've helped with the base on there, get some stuff going, but she's doing the fine detailing in there. And we'll continue on with this, and we'll bring you more updates, and we'll get more into the rules and the gameplay hopefully very soon. And ultimately, as I said, the goal is to have this set ready so that you can come into the store and do a practice game with us. My son and I are brushing up on the rules ourselves, so we'll start some gameplay. And if you want to just kind of learn a quick game on how to do it, we'll be here, and you can join us. So, Central Station Toys in downtown Cleburne, Texas. We hope to see you soon. And if you have any questions or comments about my video, please comment below. And especially if you have any hints on how to do the Necrons, I still have another 6 Necrons to go, 7. Actually 7 more to go, because they're and I'm not looking forward to it right now just because of my fingers. I'm gonna maybe make my daughter put those together and I'll start painting. But if you have any tips on how to do it to make it a lot easier, let me know, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.